Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, I forgot my beer. 1 second. I can confirm that all the cliches about Irish people are true, as demonstrated with this beer. So, hi, I'm Paul Walsh. It's a pleasure to be here today. I've had a great time meeting people between yesterday and today. I'm conscious of the fact that it's the second part of the second day, so I don't have a very technical cybersecurity presentation. It's very high level with just a couple of tips that some people should walk away with, particularly those that are running companies in the cryptocurrency world specifically to help keep themselves safe and their communities safe from phishing. So a little bit about me. I was one of the first employed by AOL in Europe as the first international beta coordinator and technical accounts manager hired outside the US. And I was part of the team that helped to launch technologies like AIM, 56K modem speed, and of course I'm very sad to hear that AIM has been put on the shelf in December. And then just to give a little bit more context for the purpose of this talk, I've contributed to about 9 technical specifications at the W3C. I'm one of the 2 people that co-instigated the W3C standard for URL classification, and I'm one of the original 7 founders of the Mobile Web Initiative at the W3C, as well as being part of the early days of the Semantic Web Education Outreach Program. And then a little bit more about the team, because for me, MetaCert's currency, which is the company I run, it's a cybersecurity company, so our currency is trust. So if you don't trust the team, then you shouldn't trust the company or any of the products that we provide. So my COO, Ian Hayward, was the guy that built, funded, and maintained spreadfirefox.com back in the early days, which was arguably one of the first and successful open source projects. And he, along with 3 of our engineers, built pretty much all of the mainstream browser add-ons, including Dig, Delicious, Yahoo, PayPal, eBay, Google, and bug fixing in Firefox. So we do really have an appreciation for open standards, open web, and open source, even though I'm one of the very few companies up here talking about blockchain and cryptocurrency, even though that we are not decentralized ourselves. And I can't confirm nor deny if we are going to decentralize trust and cybersecurity in the future. Read into that what you will. So everything we do is based on the premise of helping to keep you safe when opening a link. So in the cybersecurity world, and particularly in cryptocurrency, the figures that I want you to remember are this. You will read about the hacks that happen in the crypto world, but you won't hear too much about the phishing attacks, even though phishing represents more than half of all of the revenue made by the cyber criminals, with as many as 16,000, just under 17,000 victims. So you won't hear about that in the media, but it is the #1 cybersecurity threat in the entire of the crypto world. Now, can anybody shout out which of these is the real MyEther wallet website? Left or right? Okay, so most users won't know the difference between these 2 websites. And I'm not picking on MyEther wallet because it's insecure, but actually because it's becoming so successful as one of the most widely used wallets, which is also open source, they're actually getting attacked quite a lot by phishing attacks. So there's a huge amount of phishing websites dedicated to trying to steal your money whenever you try to go to a MyEther wallet website. So in this example, on the right-hand side, they've actually got an extended validation certificate, which makes the URL go green. But most users don't even know that. Even when you buy a basic SSL certificate, all it does is put a padlock in the toolbar. And actually, you can get those for free, and you don't have to verify anything about yourself or your company. So a lot of phishing websites actually have an SSL certificate, which means users go to their website, they see the padlock, and they assume it's safe when it's actually not. So pat on the back for those of you who got the right one. I only noticed, actually, after I created this slide, I noticed that OMG is an actual token. So this is not related to that token. This is actually just, I've got like probably 3 or 4 tidbits of sound bites of advice for those that are launching tokens and ICOs. That is, trying not to do time-sensitive promotions. Now, I understand that from a marketing perspective, you will actually try to get the buzz going. But just be very cautious about doing things like, click here quick, you need to buy our token before it runs out in the next hour. Because when you do that, you get them into the mindset that every time they see a phishing scam that prompts them to react very quickly, they're not going to stop and think if they're used to you actually doing that as a part of your business. So just be mindful about how you communicate with your communities. This is actually contrary to what a lot of people will advise you. So I met a few people throughout yesterday and today, some of whom have got MetaCert installed already. And one of them told me, when I started talking about the domains and phishing, they told me that they actually bought a ton of domains so that they could make sure that the phishers couldn't actually catch them out. So don't waste your money on domains. Here's just a few of the phishing domains dedicated to my Ether wallet. The list goes on, and there's about 5 of those pages. So there's many, many hundreds of domains. The next piece of advice is, if you do buy more than one domain, don't redirect all of the kind of non-formal domains to the official domain, because you'll get people used to typing in an address and then being redirected. You do not want your communities to be redirected to another website, because that's what also happens in phishing attacks. You want them to be scared the second they see a redirect. So don't redirect your domains. I'm targeting Slack because those of you that have already got token communities and ICO communities, you'll know that that is the main attack vector right now. They're getting slammed. My phone literally buzzes every few minutes with phishing scam attempts. But the fact is, every messaging platform comes with no anti-phishing security built in by default. So when Slack is more secure, when more of the communities have MetaCert installed and it becomes more secure from phishing, those attacks are going to migrate to the other platforms. So be mindful of that as well. So we are working on an open source project with RocketChat to build a security module which will also be open source. And we also have products for other platforms, but if there's anybody here in the security world, that's a good opportunity for you to actually contribute by building security products for those platforms. So just be mindful that if you're on another platform, and I don't want to name any because it's pretty much all of them, if you're on another platform, don't assume you're safe. When there's enough people talking about and transacting money, the cyber criminals will move there. They will always go to the least possible resistance. And right now, that just happens to be Slack. This is what a phishing scam looks like inside a Slack channel. It's not like the really awesome Nigerian emails that we're all used to. These are actually written beautifully well, and they're actually very convincing. So what MetaCert does is you install it inside Slack. It gets built into the fabric of the service, so it doesn't matter what device or platform your community members use. It listens to links in the background, and the update that we released about 2 days ago now also secures direct messages and Slackbot. So those of you that are already in Slack and you're worried about the scams that are coming in via the webhooks and the Slackbot reminders and the DMs, the latest release actually addresses those issues. So what happens is it automatically removes the message before a user even sees it, and then tells them what the link was, without it being clickable, obviously, because you don't want to click on a link inside an alert. And then it also sends a direct message to the champion, the person who installed the app, on behalf of the community, so they know who to ban immediately. The other products that I would like those of you with communities that you're concerned about is to install our browser add-ons. Now, if you go back to the slide that I showed you all of those add-ons that we built in the past, at least you know it's going to be well built, reliable, and we take your privacy very seriously, and it's quite secure. They're fast also. So we have the biggest database of classified URLs in the world by a lot. We are the best in the world at classifying URLs. I helped to create the standard. My team actually built the technology, having done it for some other big security companies. I even own a patent for anti-phishing detection and prevention inside a mobile application. So we've been doing this for a long time, since 2005. But going back to whether or not I can confirm nor deny whether we're going to decentralize everything. I need to say that because mentioning patents is the last thing you want to talk about to people who are open source. So that's only there to protect it from the likes of Google. So what the add-ons do is you cannot stay on top of every phishing link forever, even though we have people contributing to our database on an hourly basis. So the add-ons, what we do is we label all of our customers' websites and all of the exchanges. So when somebody lands on one of those domains or their social media accounts, we turn the shield green. So from a user perspective, if it's not green, you just assume it's bad, assume it's dangerous, and don't actually type anything into it. So it does the opposite to blocking websites, but it does that also. It will redirect you to a warning page, and it won't allow you to go to a website that's blocked by us. And those add-ons will actually be open sourced. If you forget everything that I told you, that is fine. What I would like everybody to think about walking away is just this one thing. If you use your phone number, for a backup for your password on any of the following websites, Facebook, Twitter, Dropbox, Box, Gmail, GitHub, get rid of it right away, because it's one of the biggest attack vectors for those that are actually getting prominence in the industry. So here's a tweet that was sent by the founder of MyEtherWallet, and again, I'm not targeting MyEtherWallet. They are actually one of the most security-conscious teams that I've ever come across. They're very good at what they do. It is very secure. This actually can't be helped because it's actually a weakness of the cell providers. So yesterday, the founder of MyEtherWallet had her phone number ported to a cyber criminal's phone. So now what they can do is they can just do a password reset on everything. They don't even have to hack. What do you think AT&T's response was to this on Twitter? They clearly didn't get what was actually being said. Better still, they're demonstrating that they're actually willing to take a direct message with your contact details so they can help you port your number. Brilliant. So if that's the only thing you walk away with, then I've actually done my job. Thank you very much. My name is Paul, and I'm the founder of MetaCert. Thank you.